A group of radicals from the religious sect Aum Shinrikyo, teaching of the supreme truth Aum, released the poisonous gas Sarin in the Tokyo subway system on March 20, 1995. 13 people died in this terrorist act, and several thousand others suffered various serious problems. The perpetrators of the attack were executed in 2018. The attack by the Aum Shinrikyo group was the worst mass terrorist act committed in Japan since World War II. It also holds another unfortunate distinction in the history of terrorism. It was the first time a chemical weapon was used instead of explosives. The attack itself was very precisely timed. The attackers chose the rush hour of around 8 a.m. and 3 busy subway lines near important government buildings. 5 of the sect's most trusted members, who were protected by an antidote, released liquid sarin over a period of 3 to 5 minutes from 11 plastic bags wrapped in newspaper that they placed on the floors of subway cars at 5 stations. 13 victims died in the attacks. Fortunately, it was low-quality sarin, about 30%, which had a strong odor. In its pure form, the gas is undetectable to the senses. This alerted passengers on the subway and apparently prevented greater loss of life. However, the nerve gas fumes caused difficulty breathing, burning eyes, fever, fainting, and vomiting in about 5,500 people. 13 people died from the poisoning. Hundreds of people were also classified by doctors as psychological victims, that is, people without real symptoms of being affected. The incident sent out warning signals around the world that something similar could happen anywhere. It also exposed the unpreparedness of Japanese authorities for a similar chemical disaster and the failure of local intelligence services to pick up on warning signals about the preparations for the attack. Although no one claimed responsibility for the terrorist attacks, the trail pointed to the religious sect Aum Shinrikyo. Police searched its headquarters in the following weeks, finding tons of chemicals needed to produce sarin, firearm parts, and evidence of biological weapons development. The half-blind guru of the sect, Shoko Asahara, was arrested live on May 16, 1995, and charged with terrorist attacks, murder, and other crimes. 13 of the main organizers, including Asahara, were sentenced to death 10 years later, but all appealed. The execution took place 23 years after the attacks. The Japanese judiciary finally closed the trial of the perpetrators of the attack in November 2011. The executions were postponed until the courts examined the last appeal against the sentences, which happened in January 2018. The founder and spiritual leader of the sect, Asahara, and 6 of his followers were executed in early July 2018. The same fate befell 6 other members of the Aum Shinrikyo sect less than a month later. The sect apologized for the Tokyo subway attack in December 1999. A year later, it changed its name to Aleph, renounced its violent past, and declared itself a moderate religious movement. However, Japanese authorities continue to consider its approximately 1,400 members a threat to society and keep them under close surveillance. The Aum Shinrikyo sect, which at its peak had up to 40,000 members, a large part of them in Russia, was founded by Asahara in the mid-1980s. Its teachings blended elements of Buddhism and Hinduism with apocalyptic predictions. For example, the movement proclaimed that the world would end in 1997 and that a new world would be created by only a select group. To achieve this goal, it was necessary to secure enough weapons and produce an effective gas that would be used to attack the highest institutions, including the imperial palace.